Ah, Mirage. We all know Mirage. We all love Mirage. We all hate Mirage. We all play Mirage. If there are any constants in life, there's death, taxes, that guy who killed you was definitely hacking, and then there's Mirage. And despite there being no significant changes to the map since Rome fell, there's always room for experimentation, growth, and always room to sharpen up on some areas you may be slacking on. For me, I always had a handful of the Mirage smokes for T-side, but there were always gaps. I never would throw stuff like stairs, never really did anything on B, and my mid stuff was spotty. So with this video, we're going to brush up on both bomb sites, mid, as well as palace, give you all the executes you need so you can approach the map in a very straightforward way, whether it's throwing it all yourself or filling in gaps around your teammates as needed. This guide is the one for you. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you guys take a second, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps out immensely in the YouTube algorithm, as well as helping me on my journey to 1,000 subs. I put a lot of work into these videos, and once I reach 1,000 subs, I'll be able to monetize the channel and start getting rewarded for some of that work. So if you guys want to help out with that, it would be immensely appreciated. And while you're down there, check me out on Twitch as well. I stream Sunday through Friday, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Counter-Strike 2, a little bit of variety on the weekends. Come check me out, and let's get started with the video. Alright, we're going to start off in mid, because mid is by far the most important aspect of Mirage. If you have no mid control on your D side, you might as well walk away with a 12-0 half and start over. Everything revolves around starts and ends in mid. The better you are in mid, the better you're going to be on A and on B, so you need to have mid utility. If you can't throw window smokes, you can't throw connector smokes, you can't throw cat smokes, you're fucked. Now again, because Mirage is 5,000 years old to the day, there's about 500,000 and a half Mirage window smokes. And this is the one I like to use. I stand in front of the trash can, smushed against the wall. I look up above to the wall in front of me, and I'm at the middle of this darker inlaid part of the wall and just to the left of it. Again, look on screen, you'll get what I'm talking about here. From there, you're going to hold D and then jump throw. And the way I like to line this up is I smush it to the corner, I get my crosshair where I need to be, I pull the pin on the grenade and I hold S and D, then let go of S, hold D for a second, and then throw. That's how I time these throws to make sure that it's consistent and it works every time. That sails smoothly over, it lands in the window, it blocks the window. Perfect, great, no notes. Now as for other mid smokes, we're going to focus mainly on connector, as I find for the most part if I'm smoking cat, it's usually on the fly from behind the mid boxes. I haven't really found the need to have a from spawn catwalk smoke, but if that ever gets to the point where there is, I'll make a follow-up video or a short showing that. For right now, we're just going to focus on the connector. And luckily, we're going to throw this connector smoke from the same spot. So, we're going to smush in front of the trash can, look at the wall in front of us, and where there's this rug hanging on the balcony, we're going to look to the right. In between the two decorative shapes, we're going to focus on that middle metal pole, and then aim down to the bottom of the stone right below it. Once again, follow on screen if you're confused. And then we're going to execute a jump throw. This one's going to sail over the top, land in connector, and importantly, it's going to bloom in such a way that no one can see over the top of the smoke towards catwalk. Other connector smokes you may have seen recently were patched or smokes were changed in some way. They don't work the same anymore. This one that you can throw from the corner outside of apartments, for example, does not work. CTs can see right over it, it's a bad smoke. There was also this overflow smoke that lands above the connector that was really popular during some of the beta periods for CS2. That one for my testing also appears to be patched. So go with this one instead. You can just throw it, then the window smoke from the same spot. Great, this allows you to take that fast cat, that B split control. It's really good, and again, it leaves no gaps. Alright, with mid out of the way, let's look towards the A site. Definitely the preferred bomb site of pretty much everybody at this point in Mirage's lifecycle, which means you need to be able to execute on it properly. Firstly, if you saw a recent YouTube short on my channel, then you know we're going to start off with the CT smoke. I found this one by accident dicking around, and this CT smoke I believe is the most optimal one you could throw in the game right now, because it eliminates any issues that might arise from smokes blooming in different ways. You see, there's some slight variance with smokes in CS2, especially around the margins, where they will spread and decay into areas differently. Basically, they're never a perfect circle, so you have to consider sometimes what margins might be revealed. From T-spawn, we're going to bump into this corner going towards A main, and then we're going to look up towards the palace tower. That little pole that's sticking out, we're just going to aim at the middle of it, just right on it, and then execute a jump throw. This smoke goes very quickly and then one hops up onto ticket booth, gets stuck there, and plumes out perfectly so that nobody can boost and peek over the smoke. It still covers CT, and the only way for a CT to get over it is to jump all the way onto ticket booth and completely expose themselves. And now we need to pair it up with the other two titular smokes for the execute, that is jungle and stairs. We're going to walk forward to the door along the same wall. We're going to stand on the right side of the door, line up with the middle of the casing, and then we're going to look up above us. For the jungle smoke, we're going to aim at the middle of this nest of wires and then execute a jump throw. We're then going to aim further up to the top of the roof, and where there is this slight angle on the roof, we're just going to aim slightly to the left of it. So just the middle of the angle, slightly to the left, and then jump throw. The stair smoke takes a second, but it lands consistently, no issues. So honestly, if you're going to do this optimally, you should throw stair smoke, jungle smoke, and if you're throwing everything, then CT, because all of them will get there at relatively the same time. By the way, do keep in mind, yes, you can be the guy who throws all three smokes for your team, that's definitely possible. But the point is, you need to be able to throw any of those smokes, so that way if someone says they got CT or they got jungle, you can step in and fill the gap. But let's say you're not going to be one of the A main players, you instead want to play out of the palace. But you're not opping, you're just running a rifle or maybe you're running an eco. This is a great little smoke that lets you get out onto the site cleanly without having to deal with the jungle or stairs player trying to gun you down. It's a bit high risk, high reward, but it could be very nice for a palace waterfall, or when you just want to play fast out of palace onto site. We're going to smush into this corner here, then look ahead towards the palace exit. We're about halfway onto this wall, and vertically we're lining up with the arrow painted to the left of us, and then we're going to execute a W throw. We're just going to walk forward like one step and release the smoke. It's going to bank off both walls, go out the doorway, take another hop, and then bloom on the edge of the balcony of palace. It's going to waterfall over the side and let you run out and drop down onto site default, or you can surf in the smoke and go straight under palace to surprise the player who might be playing down there. Either way, you're completely concealed until you reveal yourself on the site, giving you the initiative. What you can do also is throw the smoke, quickly back up, and then throw a flashbang as well. The flashbang will still pop inside of the smoke, giving players no time to react or dodge to it, and it will blind anyone looking at palace still because smokes don't obscure flashbangs. It makes for a very lethal combination. It's actually a really fun smoke to play with because players aren't expecting this kind of fast palace push nowadays. It's not really something that's in the meta because it's so dangerous to do so. But the smoke enables you to get out safely and then pick when you want to take your engagement, which is really nice. Before we move on to the B side, just a quick aside, you may have noticed we haven't talked about flashes, molotovs, or grenades much at all, and that's because Mirage is a very simplistic map when it comes to that. It isn't like Inferno or Nuke, where there are dedicated lineups for some of this utility that you're going to use game to game. Most of the time, your molotovs are, oh, there's a guy standing behind triple, I'm going to throw a molotov at triple. Or there's a guy in jungle, so I'm going to throw a grenade jungle. Or I want to flash into A, so I throw my flash over A main. There's not a whole lot to it, you just throw it as needed. I will say, just a general note, you guys don't use enough flashbangs when you peek. If you're going to take that swing and you have the flash, just use it. Throw it over the top of your cover, bounce it around the corner, just get it out there. It's going to help, but just please, call your flashbangs, alright? Please, do it for me. Anyway, let's move on to the B site. Alright, now obviously B site sucks. Pushy B can be very difficult, it's very easy to get stopped, and that's where the smoke utility really comes in handy and makes a very big difference for when you're wanting to actually execute a B take. Unfortunately, unlike the other lineups and setups on Mirage, this really is best done by one person with 3 smokes, so you are going to have to ask your teammates to help you out here. Luckily, most of the time, teammates are going to be very happy to give you smokes and let you do it because most people don't want to do the setups. Just communicate with your team, ping the spots where you want them to drop the smokes, and then throw the following setup. However, if your teammates aren't listening, they don't care, whatever, and you can't, I would focus primarily on throwing the first smoke in the sequence because blocking catwalk can be the biggest difference in your B takes when you can kind of handle everything else as needed on contact. So firstly, we're going to stand in this corner just as you exit T-abs into the staging area. You're going to look up at the building above you, and for the catwalk smoke, we're going to aim right at the very top left corner of the building. Now this smoke has to be precise. You need to aim where I am aiming because there's a very narrow window for this smoke to land. Too far left, it will miss. Too far right, it will hit the building. You need to be where I am, which makes the smoke a little bit finicky to throw on the fly. So take your time, line it up properly, and throw it as needed. It will land right in the middle of catwalk and block off deep cat players. An important note, when you are jumping out of apartments, you need to clear get right, or shortcut as some people may call it. It's your direct left when you exit the apartments onto the B side. That cubby is open, so you need to take care of it. Our next smoke is for Market Window. We're going to aim at the very top right corner of the same building. Again, look on screen and execute a jump throw. This lands right inside of the market window. It's a great smoke. Our last smoke, we're going to aim even further right on the same building to the third window on the far right. Right at the top of that, you're then going to execute another jump throw. This will land in the market doorway. So again, the sequence goes cat, window, door. It goes left to right in that order, and that will give you the 3 key smokes to isolate the B site. Now when you're exiting the apartments, throw some flashes, molly bench, do whatever you can to isolate the gunfights further, jump out the window and take that site control fast and swift, and you will execute the B site perfectly. And that's it. Mirage can be such a painful map on the T side if you don't have smokes to divide up the map control. It's so big for cutting off op angles and splitting up crossfires, which the CTs will abuse if you don't. So learn it, get in the lab, put this stuff in your back pocket. These are the most straightforward smokes that I think will make a difference in your games. So if you guys find that helpful, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel for more content coming your way. And remember, follow me on Twitch too, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Sunday through Friday. And listen, I'll catch you guys soon with another video. Peace.